Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Wednesday walkthrough video. It's Wednesday, May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Today, we are working on eclipses. So yesterday we talked about phases of the moon and saw where the moon is located in relation to the Earth and the Sun during each of the phases of the moon. Monday, we introduced the actual names of the phases of the moon. So if you have not done Monday and Tuesday, you got to do that, or Wednesday ain't gonna make any sense. So make sure you head up and do Monday and Tuesday if you have not. Today, wrong button. Today we're gonna look at eclipses. So we're gonna read the page titled Eclipses, complete the eclipses quick check. I can explain why solar and lunar eclipses happen. Students will view Eclipse Simulator and eclipse charts. I will be successful when I have scored at least 3 out of 4 on the old quick check. Let's jump right in. Here's the lunar and solar eclipse page. The word eclipse, it means something is passed in front of, blocked out, all right? And we have 2 situations where eclipses occur. First one we're going to look at is called a solar eclipse. So a solar eclipse is when the sun is blocked out by the moon, all right? The moon, just like anything that exists, casts a shadow behind it. So if you happen to be really close to the moon, it will have a shadow behind the moon. Just like, trees and stuff on a sunny day, there's a shadow, all right, that's partially blocking the sun. The moon is much bigger, so it has a much bigger shadow, though, all right? So when the moon is in the new moon phase, right between the sun and the earth, we talked about that yesterday, sometimes the shadow can reach all the way to Earth. Look at that. All the way to Earth. Sometimes, not all the times. And it casts a very narrow shadow on the surface of the Earth. Now, if you happen to be in that shadow, you'll be experiencing a normal day where the sun is shining, and then the moon passes in front of the sun, and it completely blocks out the sun, and the day gets dark just for a few minutes. Just for a few minutes, and that is called a solar eclipse. The sun is blocked out. It gets a little bit dark, gets a little bit cool. It feels like night randomly happens during the middle of the day. All right, kind of crazy for sure. If you happen to see a solar eclipse, this is kind of what it will look like. You'll see just a dark circle where the sun should be, and then you'll see some sort of light streaming around it. This is actually the sun's atmosphere, and it's only visible during solar eclipses, which is kind of cool. So that's a solar eclipse. Feel free to read a little more. Lunar eclipse is when the moon is being blocked out from the sun. So what happens in a lunar eclipse is, and it can only happen during the full moon phase, has to happen during a full moon phase, but the Earth also casts a shadow. And the moon sometimes passes through the Earth's shadow. And so this happens during a full moon. When this happens, the moon doesn't disappear at night. What happens is the Earth's atmosphere sort of bends the light rays from the sun and bends around them. And the light's passing through our atmosphere, which is kind of dirty and dusty. And the light that shines on the moon has this reddish tint to it. So when we have a lunar eclipse, the sun takes on this blood red color. Sometimes it's called a blood moon. But let's compare the sizes of the shadows here. The Earth's shadow, pretty big. The moon fits in there plenty, all right? The moon's shadow is pretty small. It barely touches the Earth. So as a result of that, lunar eclipses are much more common than solar eclipses because the Earth has a much larger shadow. There might be a question about that in the old quick check. I don't know why I did a silly accent. Anyway, so that's explaining lunar eclipses. And then there's a nice picture of a lunar eclipse. Then there's a couple other short videos I've embedded there with further explanation and some cool videos showing lunar and solar eclipses happening. So make sure you watch those videos. They're good. It's National Geographic. Everything National Geographic does is good. It's good stuff. All right. That's the page for the day. And then the quick check is just 4 points, 3 questions. Shouldn't be too bad. You get 2 attempts like normal. We got a multiple choice. We got a drag and drop, fill in the blank, and then a true or false. All right? Take care of that, and you are good for the day. We just have one last thing to finish up about the moon, and that's more of like how we got to the moon and explored it with astronauts. So today's kind of a light day. What I might recommend doing is take a look at your grade book in this class, see if you've got any missing work. In your other classes, see if you got any missing work, and get all caught up on everything. As I've said, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty here as far as school's going. Not a whole lot of time left to get missing work caught up and turned in and get grades up and all that fun stuff. All right? So, yeah, that's all I got for you today. Have a wonderful day. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Bobolik out.